not destroy vital testing apparatus.
And welcome back to another episode of the Game Drain with me, Matt Likes Games. We have Ham Solo. Hard Days Mike is here. Tuan is out. He's not feeling well. We hope he feels better next week. We will see him then. But for now, it's just us three. So what have you guys been up to recently?
Who first?
It doesn't matter. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first. So I've been playing, if you're all right with that, Ham?
Yeah, of course. You're good.
Right on. So honestly, as much as gaming, I've just been enjoying my rig. I actually put my shit into a bigger case with a better cooling system. Matt, this thing is so quiet. It's almost as quiet as the Series X. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
At most, it's just a CPU cooler you can hear, but like still, that's nothing compared to the first case I had. That thing was fucking loud. Or at least it had its moments. But I've been playing a game called RoboQuest, which I'll talk about later in the show as well. That game kicks ass. It's in early access. It's going to be launching the console Game Pass this January. It's in PC Game Pass currently. It's a ton of fun. All right, well, I'm kind of talking about what we've been playing. I'm kind of jumping ahead, aren't I?
Yeah, no, you're good. That's exactly what I'm asking.
Oh, all right, awesome. Sorry, it's been one of those days. Yeah, so I'm having a lot of fun with it. Imagine it has a great mix of like modern fast shooting, and also what I like about it is it kind of almost in a sense really highlights the importance of using multiple weapons, because when you have a weapon stored, you'll see a little thing in the bottom. This is about RoboQuest, by the way. You'll see the weapon you have holstered. There's a little bar going up, and it charges pretty quickly. And once it fully charges, your weapon is completely reloaded. So you run out of ammo, switch to your other gun, and just start shooting, and wait till it's back. And like instead of you can manually reload, but it's much more fun to kind of get in that groove of using all of it. You know what I'm saying? So you're never reloading; you're just constantly shooting.
Sounds nice.
It's a really fun game. It's co-op. It's on Xbox. Well, it's gonna be on Xbox in January, they said, but right now it's on PC Game Pass, and it's on every launcher you can probably imagine. Other than that, I've been watching a lot of movies. I won't talk about the movies because I honestly would probably talk about this movie for 2 hours, but I watched two versions of All Quiet on the Western Front, the 2022 Netflix version and the 1979 version, both fucking incredible. Highly recommend them both. Heartbreaking movies, because World War I is heartbreaking. Other than that, though, I'm just enjoying my rig and playing all kinds of games, and that's really it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. What about you, Ham?
Oh man, I've been
Jesus Christ. Sorry, go
playing
on.
Persona like a damn weeb, like
Ugh.
crazy. I've been enjoying it, but it's been slowly killing me, I feel like. This game. It's just so damn
Unfortunate.
deep and long, and a lot like this game just has a lot going on in it, and I'm getting tired just thinking about it. And you're gonna have to excuse me, you guys, today. I'm feeling just a little under the weather. But as for games I've been playing, it's been that NBA 2K23. Been playing some of my old school games, so some Blitz the League. Trying to remember all of them. I know some Road Rash as of lately, and NCAA football 2K or 2013. So those are a few of the games I've been playing as of lately, but that's pretty much it for the most part that I can think of right now. I'm really excited for next week to be playing God of War, though.
Let's go.
Yeah, same here. I cannot wait for that game.
That game seems like it's going to be a banger.
Dude, it seems like by all accounts, it seems to be better than 2018. By just all accounts of what people are saying. I mean,
Oh,
it's
wait,
got the
that's not
same
hard. It is
score.
a PlayStation game. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, hey, what can you do?
I'm sorry. I
You're
don't know.
fine.
That doesn't make
Hey.
any sense.
No, you're fine. Any dig at PlayStation is totally
Let's go.
Whatever. You
Ah.
guys are so disrespectful.
PlayStation. Mid.
But-
Go on.
But I'm trying to think of what I've been playing. Modern Warfare. I played probably the most Call of Duty in one night that I've ever
Ooh, Call of
played, and
Duty.
like,
I forgot.
dude, we played that for what, about 5 hours last night?
Yeah, I
Something
forgot
like that.
all about that. That was a fucking blur.
It's
I
taken
don't
for like
remember.
5 hours.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I've
I forgot
I
that
haven't
we
played
played
Call of
that for so long yesterday. And
I have not played Call
we-
of Duty one night that long since like 09, maybe.
we lost
That's
like
nuts.
what, like 2 matches for like
Dude, we
5
won
hours.
everything pretty much. It was insane.
Do I need to
Ridiculous.
buy that game? Is it crossplay?
Yes, it is crossplay, and I would highly recommend it. It's very fun.
Okay,
Very
I
fun.
might have to
man.
do it.
I
But
mean,
dude, that
I
game,
don't know. I think it is really fun though, and and especially once you like it started out with me, Matt, and my buddy Justin, and then it went from me and Matt and my buddy Justin to my buddy Jones dropped in as well, and then from that 2 more friends hopped in, and then we had a full party, and we were just slaughtering teams.
it was unfair. Like, it can't be emphasized enough. We were winning like scores. We were playing hardpoint. We were winning at scores were like 250 to like 30. We were just killing people. It was not fair.
Yeah.
It was super fun though.
Typical
It was
bots cheating.
hilarious. It was hilarious. But
It was
anyways, yeah,
fantastic.
man, that was fantastic. That was a good time, and I definitely want to do that again sometime soon. Because
Definitely.
we were beating them down so bad that like I was literally taking out any weapon that I wanted to use and just being like, I'm gonna grind this one for a little bit
Yeah,
and see. You
you
know,
could do whatever you
I'm gonna
want.
go for I'm going for the suppressor real quick and whatnot, and like in 2 matches I'd have what I need because we just be crushing them so badly.
Yep.
That's
It's a
awesome.
good game. It's
Watch me
definitely really
join though, and
fun.
our fucking skill-based matchmaking gets
No,
fucked.
Mike, I'm telling
I,
you right now, I don't know if the skill-based matchmaking, it does not feel as terrible as it did in Vanguard.
that makes me happy to hear because
That's
Vanguard's
facts.
was fucking
Vanguard's
just.
was atrocious.
It was like you win. Like I remember, dude, we were so good the first day, and then we just played with people that were like
Yep.
360 no scope bunny hopping with a fucking I don't know a lizard
And
or some shit, and then you're just done.
here's the thing. What's good about that is you don't run into that problem so much, and that's the reason people don't like this game as much, and it's the reason I love it,
Yeah.
is because the movement isn't so fucking stupid.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not so dumb where you've got people doing that. And if they are, they're often not rewarded for it. So
Okay.
it's a much easier game to pick up and play.
Makes me happy.
Dude,
Holy shit.
just about every game last night. I mean, and it wasn't just me, so I'm not gonna just sit here and say it was just me, but like everyone on the team was killing. But like
Nice.
there was a few games last night, dude. I had like 40 plus kills like 3 or 4 times. It was just a silly amount of just slaughtering teams. It was not fair what we
Yeah,
were doing to people.
yeah, Mike. Like I'm okay at shooting games. I don't praise myself that much on those kind of games.
I'm kind
Uh,
of okay at them.
I mean, I'd say that you are easily better than me at most shooting games. But what I'll tell you is a person like myself was able to get several matches where I got over 20 kills.
All
And
right.
I definitely had a match or two with over 30 kills. So
God
you can
damn.
definitely hop on and get down. So if anybody's like watching this and wondering, am I thinking about getting the next Call of Duty? I'm not quite sure if I'm good enough. I tell you what, I'm not that great at the game, and I'm getting
Yeah.
20 to 30 kills without going like crazy and trying like mega hard or
Yep.
stressed out or whatnot. I'd say just make sure like you got a couple people to play with just to enhance the experience.
Yeah.
It gets pretty
Sweaty.
lousy.
By yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but by yourself, I could see it like you playing a couple matches and being like, all right, I'm good for the day. But like, if you got at least like 2 other people, I could see like a long session ahead of you.
Yeah. And
Oh,
and
I
if
want to
you
say real quick, guys, real quick. The man
yeah.
from the wrong time zone is here. That's all I gotta say. All right.
Oh
All right.
no.
Great.
Is it too big? Is too big here? Oh, it's good evening, too big.
Yeah,
Good
Good
evening,
evening.
Tuvig.
good late evening, buddy.
Yeah, how are
Yeah,
you
good
doing, bud?
lady. How you doing? All right. Sorry, I just had to correct our incorrect friend
Hey,
real quick.
we love them. We absolutely love
We
them.
love
But
him.
I will say, if you're thinking about getting in on Call of Duty, this would probably be the best one because first of all, it's going to be a 2-year gap between this and whatever comes next, and you're getting all the content that they promised to be. Like we're getting raids.
I can't wait.
You're getting campaign DLC actually for like the first time that I'm
Really?
aware of. Yes, you're getting campaign DLC. I
I
would
fuck.
assume next year to make up for the missed campaign that would otherwise be there by another game.
I think you just
But
sold
yeah,
this game to me.
you're
All right,
getting a lot of content with this one.
let's keep it a buck though. Like let's also. I mean, I don't want to sit here and just like praise Call of Duty. What are some things, Matt, that you don't like
The
about
UI,
this current Call of
I've
the
Duty?
heard
UI,
that.
the UI is horrible. It's one of the worst
Explain.
UIs I've ever seen in a game. It's terrible.
Explain.
Okay, so when you boot that game up, in fact, I'm gonna boot it up myself here just to refresh myself. But when you boot that thing up, you're instantly greeted with just one of the biggest clusterfucks of a main menu I've ever seen. It's first you open the game, and then thankfully it brings you into the game because otherwise you can back out of the menu and it makes you select Modern Warfare 2, which is just dumb. And it boots you in, and the first thing you see is quick play. You see, what is it, third person, and you go down. I think it's ground war and invasion and stuff like that. And then like actually finding games. I mean, I could imagine. I'm fine with it because I'm kind of used to bad UIs in Call of Duty. But for anyone who's not, I can imagine that being just so off-putting that you probably just put it down. You'd probably just play something else. But it is a really horrible UI. And then also the leveling system. And I want to say before I trash it, I see what they were trying to do with it. Like they want to encourage you to use different weapons. And I totally understand that. I think that's awesome. I just don't think there's a way that you can do that where it's like fun for everybody. Because like Ham, you were talking about it last night. I was even talking about it. Having to level up a weapon to get an attachment for another weapon or to unlock another weapon is just kind of insane to me. Call of Duty for me has always kind of been you find the weapon you like or the weapons you like, and then you hyper focus on those and leveling those up as best as you can, and then maybe you find something else. Whereas here they're forcing you to play with other weapons to get the weapons you like. So I don't love that. But those are really the only two things I don't love about the game.
So what you're
Okay.
telling me is it's a flawless masterpiece.
Yes, absolutely flawless, completely perfect in every way, shape, and form.
Awesome. Good to know.
So so it's a couple things that I'm gonna say. I see what Too Big said in the chat. He said, "In the real, I need hardcore mode back," and that's one of my gripes right there. Is where's hardcore mode? I really enjoy just like being the first person to. Hey, if I'm the first person to shoot you 2, 3, 4 times, I feel like I got you, and I'd rather.
I thought they
play that
renamed
mode.
it. I thought they renamed it like T something. Like I remember my friend said it's like renamed to something else now.
Well,
It's not called.
They
Isn't
don't
it? I don't
have
know.
it in there.
I don't know. All right. I don't know what he was talking
If
about.
they
Then.
renamed it, it's not there.
A horrible name. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And let's see. Yeah, so going on a little bit about what Matt was talking about with the guns and whatnot, like I don't like it for the fact that I got to use a gun that I'll probably never touch again to level up for something that I just need attachment wise. I think it's a little silly, but if you're going to do like something like that, my buddy said that, he's already leveled this person all the way up.
Mhm.
Doing that for him doesn't get him points. So
Oh yeah.
it makes it meaningless if you got your setup already. What I'm saying is they should really maximize the amount of points that you can get, and possibly like if the highest tier is 55, they should make it 60 and let the rest of those weapons you could have as unlockable as like something that you can use to get to the very last level or something like that. I see why they possibly didn't do that, because I'm sure a bunch of people would complain about that, having to do all that stuff to get the max thing. But I just think that they need to use that for something. If they're going to make you do that to get your favorite type of weapons, there needs to be some sort of benefit to doing it other than, oh, okay, now you can use it on all the other weapons. Because once you get to that point where my buddy Justin's at, where it's just like, all right, I hit maximum, then there's really nothing else to work for. And that would be one extra, like, kind of maybe little nice thing to work for, because I believe they did something like that in previous Call of Duties, where it's like
yeah.
you max out
so.
each gun or something like that, and it actually means something.
Yeah, you get like rewards, if I remember correctly, and that recent Call of Duties, I believe.
But I remember that was even back then when you could prestige yourself as well. You can't prestige yourself anymore.
Well, you can still prestige. It's just, from what I understand, it's not there yet. So they're
Oh,
going
it's
to be
just not
doing a
there
big,
yet.
yeah, they're going to be doing a big update once Warzone 2.0 drops. I think is pretty soon this month. That's going to drop, and then they'll do an update, and then they'll add all the things that people are complaining about just not being there right now.
See, this is really interesting. We've had a conversation about something like this in the past where we're talking about, is this the new way to drop games? Is just
Yeah,
unfinished.
it kind
Like,
of seems like it,
because
unfortunately.
I mean, everyone points at Cyberpunk as like the main offender, but they're not even close to the last ones to do it. I mean, Dying Light
Yeah,
did it with their
performance modes.
with their performance modes, and I mean, Outriders was really rough on the walkout. Um,
Mhm.
Gotham Knights is talking about doing performance stuff and whatnot now. Uh,
That game's a
Halo, good
mess.
God, what's going on with
Halo,
that? Like, I
Halo
mean,
was interesting, but there's some hope for Halo. We got a whole lot of stuff coming up this week. This week comes out the 8th, I believe. The winter update.
yay,
Tons of stuff in that
we get ray
that we should have already had.
tracing.
Stuff.
AMD
Yay.
ray tracing too.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
god. Yeah, that's right. Ray tracing's there. I
it's
forgot
but it's like
about that.
they partner with AMD, so it's going to be the most basic rate. That's the only thing that made me sad about. I mean, they have to though. It's an Xbox. It's using AMD fucking architecture.
So
But
let's
you know, I
actually
don't care about ray
move
tracing.
to the Halo thing. Matt, do you have a list
Sure.
of some of the stuff that's going to be dropping?
I actually don't have a
Um,
list, but off the top of my head, I mean, I completely forgot about ray tracing. So that's hilarious that you said that. But also, obviously, we're getting the Forge beta, which is going to be huge. We're getting two new maps. A little bit disappointing, only getting two new maps. But besides that, you're going to be getting maps apparently rotated in to the playlists from Forge, like fan made maps just being made in Forge and
Really?
putting into, yeah, that's why everyone's super hyped for Forge, because that can fix a lot of the
Issues.
complaints of not having enough maps on the game. That can fix a lot of those complaints. Can
Yeah.
fix a lot of the complaints of not enough game modes, because we all know that Halo historically loves to put game modes, fan-made game modes, into matchmaking. They did it with
Yeah.
Griffball way back in the day, and Griffball's been in Halo ever since.
Yeah.
Griffball's
So
so fire.
it is. It's a pretty damn fun mode, I'll say that. And they're also rotating, and I don't fully understand it. I have to watch that video again. But Mint Blitz did a video on this where he talked about they're rotating in playlists. They're gonna have a constant rotation of playlists coming in and leaving, and then new playlists taking their place. So there's a few things leaving that aren't too awesome. I don't think it's a good idea to kick them out, like big team social, whatever that is, because they still have big team. But big team social's gone. I'm not entirely sure what the difference would be between social and what they're keeping. But there's a few other modes, I think, like, God, I have to look it up again. But there's a few modes being rotated out, and then they'll be rotated back in every now and then. But I think they're keeping Team Arena. They're keeping SWAT. They're keeping, what's the Fiesta, Big Team, uh, Team Slayer, and then Free for All. There might be one or two more I'm missing, but then they're gonna rotate in other playlists, which I think is nice. Um, what else? Is there anything else that I'm missing? I'm gonna look it up. But yeah,
So
they're bringing quite a bit.
I'm assuming campaign co-op is going to be available
Yes,
now too.
that's another thing. Campaign co-op is coming. Online only, unfortunately, but it will be there.
Yeah. so we
Excited for
so,
that.
so there is some stuff to be excited for when it comes to Halo upcoming. But
Oh, oh,
I do
guys,
actually have some news I want to talk about after. I mean, it's random. It's more PC gaming related, but there is some news I'd like to talk about after. I don't know
yeah.
what category, what section we're in at the moment because I'm kind of
Well,
like
as soon as we're
vibing.
done talking about this, we can hop right into yours,
Oh,
because
right on.
there's really no
Flow.
there's really no organized thing here. I have a
All
whole
right.
list here of stuff, so we can just put it in the list. Um, but also they're redoing progression, which is something that everybody's been begging for. So you will be getting XP based on how you perform in games, and no more obscure, terrible challenges that you don't really want to do, or at least that's what they say. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be one or two that are kind of annoying, but they're redoing challenges and they're redoing progression, which is great.
That's good.
Yeah. I actually need to play some of that.
And so that all drops when?
November 8th.
November 8th, the day that
Before God of
something. Yeah. I mean, might as well be day of, damn near though. Of God of War coming out, and obviously, I mean, for me at least, Halo is gonna take the back seat on this one because I need to get through God of War. God of War, very much like Loke said, is kind of a one and done game for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I might turn it on and play it again for fun sometime down the line, but let's be real. Like, God of War isn't like a multiplayer game that's gonna keep my attention for 6 months or something like that. It's gonna be something that I play, I thoroughly enjoy, I talk about a lot, but once I'm kind of done with it,
Yeah.
done with it. Like it, and I'm gonna say the same thing about like a Plague Tale. Like Plague Tale, fantastic game. Might turn it on and go through it on the new Game Plus a little bit, but I beat the game. The main plan is done. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't feel like I have to go back to that game.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm playing that game again on PC, and just the difference between that. I mean, Series X looks great, but it's the frame rate on Series X
It's
that
not
really.
fair. I told you it's not
It's
fair.
just.
I
Dude,
need to still check it out. Ham's like, Mike, you have a 3080. You need to check it
you
out.
need to
I'm
check
like,
that game out just to see what it looks like. Because God damn, that game looks just insane. And I got it running. I'm on a 3070. I've got it running.
which ain't no slouch
four-
though. It still ain't
yeah,
no slouch.
it's 1440p, like 70 to 90 FPS
Like that's
at
nuts.
ultra settings with the LSS. It's fantastic.
Oh man, even in games I can play in 4K, I sometimes just leave it at 1440 because I can never really notice how much of a difference. I mean, like if I'm looking at like a still image, fine, but like
Yeah,
when I'm
especially if you
playing
have the LSS on.
yeah, exactly. So sorry, yeah, but dude, that game I hear is beautiful. I need to play it. I'll get to it. It's on the list. It's
Such a good game. I need to
Yeah.
beat it. I need to beat that again on PC. But yeah, Mike, you said you had a topic.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to talk about AMD's new GPUs. They seem GPUs.
That was in the list, so it works.
Oh really? It was
Yeah,
okay.
it was in the list.
Sorry, I forgot to check the list.
Well, yeah, I didn't put it up. It's on
Oh,
my
all right.
computer
Oh,
right here,
so
so you're good.
basically, AMD announced some new GPUs that actually have me interested, and actually
Yep.
they seem like decent reasons to actually jump to AMD, and they seem to be stepping their game up. So, like, I mean, once again, I have no need to be updating my GPU for at least 2 years at minimum.
Mhm.
So at minimum, like realistically, I get probably 4 years out of this thing. But but what was I trying to say? Yeah, but the new video cards are the 7900 XTX and the XT. One's priced at like 800, and the other one's at 1,000 or something like that.
It's 900 and 1,000.
900 and 1,000. Thank you.
Yeah.
And like they even though AMD themselves, so they are not like 4090 competitors, they're more like 4080 competitors. Like, dude, they're in punching range like 90% of the time of a 4090. Not in ray tracing. But however, this thing is also nowhere near as big as the 4090. Like
that's the thing that sells me on it.
Yeah, that's also something I'm kind of like, oh, thank fucking God. Like, because also likely it also means it's not going to eat your fucking computer with that power, that the fucking melting power pin fucking bullshit.
Yeah, they even talked about the wattage on the card. I think the 4090 is sometimes hitting above 450 watts. And the 7900 XTX, the biggest AMD card, is hitting 355 max.
Exactly.
Which is nuts.
Yeah, it's just to me, it's like it makes me really interested in switching to AMD. However, though, like I told you, since I do have 2 or 3 years out of this card, I want to at least get minimum. I mean, it's a $700 fucking card.
Yep.
Nvidia definitely still has time to like. I don't know if they will though. We've seen how Nvidia kind of like just does whatever the fuck they want to do.
Exactly. They don't really care. They just want your
Yes,
money.
they just which sucks. 'Cause I love DLS. Even though there are plenty of mods to get DLS functioning on AMD games, like and it'll work almost just as good, which is funny. Almost just as good, but I don't want to have to mod. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, it's really nice though because it is gonna have to put a bit of a spotlight on AMD. I'm an AMD, yeah. AMD's putting a spotlight on itself. No, it is putting a spotlight on Nvidia to kind of be like, hey guys, like your 4080, Jesus Christ, is going to be like what $200-300 more expensive and probably not even perform as good.
Yeah.
Too big, I know I do, but I'm a big fan of playing games maxed out at very high frames. So I know I do, but I'm a very big fan of that. So I'm and even then I could drop it down to 1080. I really wouldn't even care. I don't, as long as it's not below 1080, I'm happy. Anyways, yeah, so it's really, really nice that Andy, they're kind of, they even came out like, yeah, this is not exactly a 4090, but really though, it is trading blows. If you turn off ray tracing, it's like, especially you're like, in every comparison chart I looked at, like people are saying, yeah, it's like a 10 frame. Of course, these are their charts. This is not like in hands yet. So that's why they also didn't directly compare it with the 4090 or 4080 exactly, because they kind of really can't be doing it.
Yeah, there's no comparison.
There's no comparison, but at least from what we can see, it's definitely going to be probably, if we're talking about not ray tracing, punching right at the 4080, and it's exchanging blows almost with the 4090, or it's holding up against the 4090 is the better word, for $600 less.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's not even bad at ray tracing. It's just like, it's not, NVIDIA's a generation ahead on that. So it's like what they're doing with ray tracing from the metrics they showed, or from the info they showed, I should say, is it would be on par with like a 3080 Ti if in ray tracing, which is, I think, is great because the 30 series is pretty damn good at ray tracing.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
It's impressive. It's really impressive. I'm interested to see what they can do for between $500 and $800. I'm very interested to see that.
I'm not lying. If I was gonna get one, I would definitely probably be that grand guy, because I'm a whore now, like, for computer shit. It's fucking disgusting. I don't want to talk about it. I'm like constantly looking at like I already know my next CPU I want to get is the 3D version of the 500 800X, or if I do for like a 4090 or something like that, because like I said, for like the 3080, like it's a barely noticeable difference, but like I'll send you the charts I was looking at looking out after the show, Matt. It actually is a pretty significant jump. Yeah, for 1440 and 1080 in particular. 4K, it's like a 5% jump, but anyways, I'm like constantly looking at things like, like a year down the line, I want to put like a better CPU cooler, and I want to all that kind of stuff. Anyways, this is not the Mike's PC show. This is the pod game train. So yeah, I just want to talk about that real quick. Hopefully this kind of makes NVIDIA realize, it'd be kind of cool to see NVIDIA to be like, all right, AMD's able to make their cards cheaper because, they don't necessarily have all this stuff focusing on ray tracing. And what if NVIDIA kind of almost made like a competitor to that? That'd be just pricing the 4080 reasonably, but we'll see.
Yeah, that would be the answer, but God knows NVIDIA's not going to do that.
Like if they priced the 4080, like 1,000 or even 1,100, I'd be like, okay, and I just probably grab that because, I'm comfortable with NVIDIA. I don't mind if it's familiarity. You know what I mean? Like, but if it's like 1,200 and it's like getting blown out of the water in non-ray tracing scenarios, it's like I almost kind of feel like an idiot for sticking with them unless I go with the fucking 4090, which that thing would probably set my house on fire if I even brought it through the door. So
use as a heater.
I could use, dude, fucking this computer, like, dude, with some, like, I remember during like early days of October when it was still warm out, it would make my room literally warm. like,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
like the amount of heat that bitch pumps out, and it's like still running cool. But yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully this gets Nvidia off their ass and be like, okay, I guess we can't like just skyrocket everything for the sake of skyrocketing it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's actually really good because that, like I said, that was on the list. And Ham, do you have anything to say about RDNA 3?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
No.
I know nothing about RDNA 3. I just know they're a good
He's-
competitive card.
Yeah. Okay, well, we can move on to the next thing. Do you have anything you want to talk about, Ham, before I hop into whatever comes next here?
No. I want to keep it moving. Keep it going.
All right, so I got one here. This is actually going to tie in kind of to a take later, but Lionsgate wants a AAA John Wick game, which would be fantastic. And like I said, that's going to tie into a little bit of a take later. But in fact, you know what? Fuck it. Just going to put this in here now.
Do
I
it.
saw like people asking the question of who would you want to make a AAA John Wick game? And I thought about it, and I came up with, if we're going first party, um, I would, for Xbox, I'd probably go Coalition or Machine Games. Um, and if we're going third party, I would go Rockstar, and then I threw in Remedy as well. I think Remedy would make a really insane story, but their gameplay is always pretty spot on. I kind of want to ask you guys, what studio would you like to see make a AAA John Wick game?
Do I even need to speak? Like, do I even need to go over the studio I'd probably pick?
He's just gonna say id.
Is it
Yeah.
is it id?
I just want them to make a game. I just want another id game. That's all I want.
Oh man, a third person. Wait, well, could be
Wait a
first
minute.
person. Could
Oh
be
yeah, that's
first
true. It'd be
person.
if it's a third person game, then
mean,
yeah, people
who
would probably
knows?
want that to be third person. So let's keep it
Yeah.
realm of reality. Coalition,
Absolutely.
if it was a Microsoft studio. Also Rare. I think Rare could just I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Rare maybe could do it. Who the fuck knows? Rare's very happy with
Rare does weird things, and
yeah.
it would be weird to see Rare do John Wick. So maybe that would work. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. What about you, Ham?
All right, so John Wick game. So I think I'm gonna go third party first and talk.
Mhm.
Oh wait, can we talk about third party? I thought it was first party
Yeah,
only.
you can go
sorry.
third, first party, doesn't matter.
Oh, shit, I'm gonna have to think on that
picked so Matt picked a first and he picked a third party. So if it were to be just third party, doesn't really matter. I think man.
I think we gotta
who
hand it
do
to
I
the
want?
goats of PlayStation.
I think
Oh, I got
my
a take
God,
on that.
that
I got a
that's not
take
even
on
that's
that
not
for
third
later.
I know what
party.
you're about to say. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I mean,
That-
PlayStation runs the industry. It might as well be. I'm just kidding. I don't know what the fuck I'm
Ugh.
saying.
So if it was gonna be third party, I would like it to be
Square Enix.
probably. I like the idea of Remedy. Remedy seemed pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with Rockstar as well.
Ooh, yeah, I can make. They
to
make
do
a
something
banging
like that, because I mean the way
Max
they
Payne
did the
3?
last movie game, or I mean Max Payne 3 was fantastic, but
Yep.
I'm thinking of the Warriors video game.
that
there you go.
game. Fucking rocks.
that was a movie game and it was phenomenal.
I would love a
Yeah.
re-release, man.
I
I would
think that
love.
I would
a
love that.
re-release.
I think that was Rockstar Toronto. I want to say that did the Warriors
I'll
game.
look that up.
But I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head. But I'm gonna go with that. But Remedy or Rockstar would be cool.
Rockstar Toronto.
So it was Toronto.
Yep.
Dope. And then let's see for first party for Sony, who I'd like to see
Oh,
is mm,
yeah.
I'd probably like to see Insomniac do that.
Oh,
To be
okay.
honest,
Okay. That's
um,
not bad.
just because I'd want to see a dark side of Insomniac. I know they have Wolverine coming and whatnot.
I don't know why that made me laugh.
But
I don't know why that was a funny statement. I know what you mean though, because we don't really see them. I just like thought like in a literal sense for some reason. It cracked
well,
me up.
yeah,
Go on.
like I mean, you seen like Resistance and stuff like that from a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I'd like them to come back, do a darker side, and since they actually have like a movie to based on, kind of like Spider-Man, I feel like that they could make another really good game that was a movie,
Yeah.
or a movie into a video game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as for Xbox, who would I like to see
343.
make oh my god, 343. I don't think so, but
Honestly, give them something to work on that isn't Halo. Give 'em
yeah,
something.
but I'm not
something.
I'm not giving them
I
a
think
third
give
person
them
game.
Fable, give them Avowed, give 343 just everything. Tell them it needs to be out by next
Just
month.
give them, make them. They're gonna make Elder Scrolls 6.
It needs to be out next month.
It
That's
needs to be
great.
out next month, and they can't have the products that are worked on right now. It needs to be a fresh build. That bitch needs to be out next
Yep,
month.
new engine, brand new
New
engine.
engine.
Yep.
Oh my
God.
goodness, that's
Alright.
wild. So so from Xbox, the people I'd probably want to make a John Wick would probably be dang, what is that called? Ninja Theory. I'd like to see Ninja Theory do that because they already did like Devil May Cry, or
Heavenly Sword.
DMC. Yeah, Heavenly Sword,
Halo
and
Infinite.
That's
they know how to
interesting.
work. They know how to work a fantastic third person game, and they really
That's
know how to
interesting.
put a lot of like
I just
discomfort
jumped off the
into
map.
a game
Sorry.
and make it interesting. So I'm gonna go with Ninja Theory for first party on Xbox.
Thinking outside of the box, and I like that because I didn't even think about Ninja Theory. But when you said that, like you said, Devil May Cry and Heavenly Sword, very cinematic games with really great gameplay. So that would be really good, I feel like. But I want to throw in. I did mention I had this for as a hot take for later, but
Yeah, sure.
because it kind of ties in exactly with what we're talking about now, I'm just gonna put
Go
it
on.
here now.
Let it fly.
So I saw a PlayStation account, just say MBG. It was MBG who
You're like,
tweeted
fuck it.
tweeted he would love to see a Sony studio work on this game, and everybody in the replies, and I kind of agreed with them, was like, who? Because like what Sony first party studio works on this game. Now you said Insomniac, and I wouldn't hate that. I really wouldn't hate that. Um, but all the things he was talking about, he's like, I want Naughty Dog on this. I want like
Yeah.
Sony Santa Monica. I'm just like, I don't want any of those studios working on this. Like those studios do what they do, and they do it very, very well. And what they do is not John Wick.
Yeah, see,
Um,
and see, the reason I didn't choose those is because they are good at exactly like you said, they're good at making what they vision on
Yes.
making. The reason I said an Insomniac is because they have shown that they can pick up something that's been in the movie theaters and turn it into a video game. And they've done it
Yes.
well now a few times.
Yeah.
So
I love Insomniac. I really don't play their games, but I have so much respect for them. I just think they're really talented.
Great studio.
They are like the gymnastics
The Jim Ryan.
They are like the gymnastic athlete for PlayStation. They can just like do anything. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like you give them something and they just give you a time limit and say, "Come back to us in a few years. We'll be good."
100%. And it's wild to think that, you know, they did Resistance. They did,
Oh, Resistance.
and then now they just released two of the best superhero games of all time.
Imagine if they did a Resistance re-release and it was on like PC as well. Dude, I love Resistance so much.
Things that need remakes. If we're doing remakes, Sony, Resistance, give that graphics for the PS5, give it updated visuals, new engine. I don't care what engine you use, honestly. Just if you could do that, that would definitely make me happy. Definitely make me happy, and I would definitely pay $70 for it. So get on it.
Before we go any further, though, I just want to, I just want to shout out the chat real quick. So Too Big, Blind Giant, Sonic, Born Distracted,
Matt likes games.
Whatever. And
he's actually probably the
Build
problem.
Gamer. What up, you guys? Appreciate y'all for coming through. Sonic just says just a moment ago that I don't personally like much from Insomniac games, but I respect and understand they have made good things work, or I'm guessing
Good works.
Yeah, I agree with him. That's exactly what I was saying a moment ago. Like, I'm not really, or her, I'm not really into those types, like their type of games, but like they said in chat there, it's like I really respect it because like everything they make, their fan base or the people that type of like those games absolutely adore them. So it's like I really respect them. So, and they put out quality fucking consistently and pretty goddamn fast. Like pretty goddamn fast. They're like
they're I don't know what's going on over at that studio, but they're putting out games way too fucking fast, and they're not rushed out.
They're not. They're
rushed
like
out.
They're like probably like ahead of. It's so weird.
It's pretty damn wild. Like I don't know how they do it, but they're doing it, and it's impressive. But yeah, I guess that actually answers that because I didn't even think of Insomniac when that question was posed. I guess that would be probably my pick. I also I quote tweeted that tweet and I said maybe Sucker Punch, or if you went first person, I'd say Bungie if they promised to make it as violent as they possibly could. I feel like that could be an interesting game, but I think most people want third person for this game. So we'll see. But I'm interested to find out who they give it to.
One other third party game developer that I'd like to see possibly work on it that I'm just like, where did you come from? And what is this? Is I mean, they've been known to work on like Shadow Warrior series, but Flying Wild Hog.
Let's go.
Shadow Warrior
3 is a masterpiece.
The guys working on the new game Evil West.
Looks fucking great.
That's being it's Flying Wild Hog and then Focus Entertainment working on getting Evil West out, and that game looks phenomenal. And based on the way that game looks, I could see them working on something like a John Wick because that shit looks wild, bro. But I think my favorite one of the bunch that I've picked is probably Ninja Theory. To be honest,
that is a really interesting one
because just that darkness that Ninja Theory can produce mixed with the darkness that is John Wick, I feel like Ninja Theory could really crush that and make it really interesting due to it being something like a generation that we're currently in, kind of John Wick. You know what I'm saying? Instead of it being like super old or like 14th century or something like that. So I think that'd be really interesting to see. I rest my case.
I am interested in the idea of Ninja Theory doing a John Wick game. I just Ninja Theory is a super don't get credit for it, but they're super versatile. They're probably one of the more versatile studios that outside of like machine games, maybe that Xbox
Machine games
owns
would be
or
dope.
Microsoft owns. Machine games, like I gotta see Indiana Jones. I want to see if they went third person or first person for that. If they
I'm
went
really
third
interested to
person,
find out.
if they went third person and it hits like I think it's gonna hit, then I truly think that they could do a badass John Wick game. A badass John Wick game. A really good story. They could also make it pretty damn funny. Because as serious as Wolfenstein was, the new reboots were, they were also pretty damn funny at certain points. So I feel like they could do a pretty awesome job with that game. But yeah, anybody else got anything to add to a AAA John Wick game?
No, I think I said what I needed to say with that. We can move on.
All right. Wait, what about you, Mike?
I'm good.
All right. Okay, so up next we've got PSVR 2 announcing their price and release date.
Juan is
should
coping and
have wrote
seething.
should have wrote down the release date, but I do know that the price off the top of my head is $550. What do you guys think of that?
Pretty
I'll go first
pog.
on this
Just
one.
kidding.
I'll go first on
All
this
right.
one. I think that's a fair price, to be honest.
For
So
its
do I.
specs,
Look at
yeah. For its specs,
it-
yeah.
So do I.
for the specs, to be honest, if I'm talking about for its specs, I think it's a steal.
It should be more. It could be. Not, it
because
should. It could be.
the
It
only
should be
reason
more.
the only
Yeah.
reason I say it can't be more right now is because you have to have a PlayStation to use it. Like you can't just like plug it into your PC. If you could just like straight up like it worked on PlayStation and PC like out the box, then I'd say yeah, that thing should probably be more money than it is. But there's a few things that's missing on it for it to be more expensive than it is. Like you can't play any of the old games on it. You
Yeah.
can't plug it into the computer. You have to have the PlayStation. So those are some pretty key things that like kind of
Yep.
force them to keep it at that price point instead of being
Yeah.
able to put it at like
Jack it up.
$700 or $800. But I think it looks phenomenal. I think it's really interesting that they have like a feedback component and integrated in their headset. So I guess like when there's action or something, maybe you can feel it for whatever reason. But I'm interested to try it, but do I need it right now? That's a fat no. And it's
Yeah.
not me like bashing PlayStation or anything at all. This is me owning an Oculus and never using it. That's keeping me
Yeah.
from like wanting to get this PlayStation
Yeah.
VR thing. I think
Question.
it'd be neat, and I think I'd want it 5 years from now, something like that.
Sure.
Maybe
Question. I need to
maybe a
ask.
few years less, but what's up, Mike?
Did they announce Half-Life Alex for it?
I could look that up for you.
That's all I need to know.
I thought they were making a version for that.
That's
No,
what
that's
I
what I
thought.
don't know.
That's what I thought, and I swear they confirmed it, but I'm gonna be double checking this. Half-Life Alex rumored to release on PSVR 2.
Oh.
Okay, so it's just
Okay.
rumored.
Yes.
But that right there is one of the main reasons I don't really want to get into VR right now. Is it's just like like I have this Oculus device. I have like maybe 4 games on it or something like that. And then I have Game Pass, which I could play like Flight Sim, Squadron, and several other games from there. And they're actually adding Game Pass to Oculus, I believe, here in the near future. So
Yeah, I
I'll be
think
able to
so.
play it more without plugging it into my computer or having to like stream it to my computer or whatnot. So so that's a really cool thing. But I feel like that I this sounds silly, but I feel like me playing my VR, playing Game Pass is an advertisement for me down the road to possibly get the PlayStation VR. Because as of right now, I don't feel like there's enough of a catalog of VR games for me to want to jump out and get this PlayStation one. I know that they announced some. I'm not going to sit back here and say, "Oh, PlayStation has no VR games
Yeah.
for their yeah
Oh god,
right."
the new
Like
meme.
they
The
got
new
no
game.
they
The
got
new
no
meme.
games. No, they got games. They just don't really have the ones that I'm actually looking for or dying to
Yeah.
play. Like that Horizon one, don't care. Um, the
Yeah.
Resident Evil
Felt
thing,
that
I'm
Sonic.
sure it's going to be cool, but I don't care about it that much. They've announced some other ones, and none of them like pop out to me to say, "Yo, you need to make sure you have this like day one." So so I feel like it's kind of like that right now. Like I just need a little bit. I need more games to be able to play, and I really need to get adjusted to VR a little bit more because with this $300 headset that I got, I still slip it on and get like a little bit of VR sickness from it and whatnot.
Yeah, it happens. Like I do want to say though I am kind of interested in I don't know about a PlayStation one in particular, but I kind of just realized now that I have a rig that can handle VR and I want to play Half-Life Alyx. It's time. And that's kind of what I was hoping for when they announced PSVR 2 is that was going to be there. I was like, fuck it, let's go to PSVR 2, but now I'm kind of like I might as well just buy something for my computer because I want to play Half-Life Alyx.
Agreed.
I feel like that was such an obvious thing to get. Who knows though? I don't know. It could be definitely more complicated than because it could be in development right now. But I feel like that would have been a thing to at least tease. You know what I mean? Like because Half-Life Alyx
Yeah.
is the VR game. Like it's not even just like there's this, there's that. I'm like no, like I get it, but no, this is the showcase for VR. And I'm not like saying everyone has to go fucking play VR for it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like if you were to only really play one VR game to really understand what VR is, that's probably the one. Because it also has like a million different control options, like free walking. It also has a really interesting like teleporting like feature. Like they just they made a lot of accessibility features to make it easier for people to get around. You know what I mean? Like so I just think it's a very well made game, and this kind of sucks that they didn't get it for it because like I feel like that's like the showcase where like everyone was fine like I don't know, dude. Like have you seen like that clip of like people picking up random like water bottles in the ground in that game and just like tipping the bottle slightly in every direction
Water.
and the water moves with it
Yep.
literally perfectly. Like
It's impressive.
it's like Valve is on like a different level and I just want them to go back to making games. Please, Valve. Fucking please go back to making games. It's like every time they make a game, dude, it like fucking rocks the world and then it just disappear for another 30 years and then they come back.
They're gonna make Steam too.
Yeah,
what they'll
Source
make.
Engine 2 that we still haven't really seen yet. I don't know how that shit works. I don't understand anything.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
let me run to the chat real quick. Sonic said a
Yep.
couple things. Sonic says, I'm surprised that PSVR 2 is a thing. I love Sony, but I'm not sure if virtual reality is a market they need to tap into, which is interesting. I think a lot of people have asked that question. And he also says, I love VR as a concept. I just dislike the big headsets. I play
Yes.
Beat Saber, but then again, that's the only way I'd fully enjoy it as a rhythm game player. I can totally see how rhythm games are pretty much like the shit on VR because it kind of VR. I don't know. It kind of gives you a sense of getting up and moving around and stuff like that, which is nice. But at the same time, when you're trying to game, mostly you're trying to just relax and whatnot. So it's really conflicting when you have a
Yeah.
VR,
Yeah.
because like for me, it's like I want to stand up and move around, and then I'm like, I more or less want to just sit back and play games. So I sit back and I play my VR, and then the battery life on it isn't that great. And I keep that in mind for this new PlayStation VR. Like the battery life isn't going to be crazy long and on these devices and whatnot. And it's even the same for the hefty one from Oculus. That thing's not gonna last too crazy long and whatnot. And I do really hear what he's saying about this market. Not really sure if it's. I mean, it's very much like cloud gaming, where it's just like
Yeah.
not really sure if it's in the market right now, but like, hey, like if once it is in the market, you're ahead. You know what I mean? And I think that's where PlayStation kind of is right now, because they definitely don't want to go versus like Xbox when it comes to like cloud gaming and stuff like that. They want to create kind of their own lane that no
They're
one's really
afraid.
touching them
Just
on.
kidding. I'm kidding.
And I mean, kudos to Nintendo for doing that from the jump street. They're like, screw it, we're going with the handheld now, and that was their kind of, exit from the mainstream console kind of gaming. And I think PlayStation is going to stick around and do what they do, but now they have another kind of console that they can keep up on, which I'm a little nervous about a little bit, because it's just like how much I'm nervous for PlayStation, more or less like how much time and effort are you guys going to really put into this thing 5 years from now?
Yeah. I want to say, to address what he said, actually, before dude, you're getting destroyed in this gameplay clip.
Yeah,
What is he playing?
dude. Yeah,
What
dude,
is he
this
playing
fire
right now?
level, this fire level,
Oh my God.
sucked.
Dude,
I
must
hated
have.
it.
It must have.
I
That looks rough.
hated it. Dude, it is hard.
Off and off and off
Dude,
and off.
yeah, over and over and over. I was just dying. But anyways, yeah.
Oh, but yeah, just to address Sonic, where he says, I love VR as a concept, I just dislike the big headset. That's kind of where I'm at. And I was listening to somebody talk about it. I'm trying to remember. A huge YouTuber, Marquez Brownlee. I was listening to him talk about it, and he basically said the same thing, that VR is at a place where it's a really cool concept, but most people just don't want to use it because of how inconvenient it is.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of right there with Sonic on this. It's a really cool concept. I don't care to have a huge headset on my head at all times. It's just
They got a huge head.
I do have a big head.
Just kidding.
I factually do. And I'd rather not have a massive headset on my head at all times whenever I just want to experience
A game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Dude,
like,
especially me, because I sweat like a fucking like the most minor
Yeah.
shit will make me sweat. So I put that bitch on, I'm drenched.
and
I'll get a short
if they can get VR down to where it's like how I have on these glasses right now, however long that takes, maybe like a decade plus, whatever, how long that takes. If they can get it down to where it's like how I have on these glasses right now, and then that's VR, I feel like, that becomes way more interesting for me. It becomes like super accessible, depending on the price, obviously, but that would be a super accessible way to experience VR for me. Outside of that, Half-Life Alyx is really the only thing I care about when it comes to VR.
Yeah.
And that's
I
not
like to
enough for
play-
me to spend the money on a VR headset.
I like to play the original Doom in VR. That's a mod.
There you
That
go.
looks
We
really
can do
cool.
that.
But like, I don't want to, like, once again, as I don't know like much about VR headsets, so I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna go buy a random one, because I could get like the worst one that would like unknowingly, then I'm fucked. So
Yeah. So, anybody got anything else to add to PSVR 2?
No. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, the rollout of it is very similar, and I've been hearing a lot of people complaining about, it. Like it's like pieces that you buy to get together because you have to get like the what is it called, the like charging stand and stuff like that separate. I feel like the PSVR really took a lot of tips from Oculus and the way that they kind of rolled out their stuff, because it's like damn near the same on how they're rolling it out. So
Okay.
I think it's fine. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see people try it out and to hear what it's all about, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
be, live on YouTube telling everybody to buy this or whatnot.
Same
Tomorrow was
here.
live on YouTube.
Same here. Oh, and I didn't say the release date. It's actually February 23rd, 2023 for PSVR 2. So there you go. And then we actually got a few things left here, but I want to get through this quickly. So I'm going to pick a few. Um, Eidos Montreal is working together with Playground Games on Fable, which is interesting to me at least, because it's funny that Eidos Montreal is working on Fable with Playground, and Crystal Dynamics is working with the initiative on Perfect Dark. Kind of seems like Microsoft wanted to get them. They just couldn't because of,
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard. And they just said, hey, work on these games, help us work on these games. And I don't know. It's interesting. It kind of makes me feel like there's a possibility that Microsoft could end up getting those studios from Embracer. I mean, we'll see.
I
But
mean, anything's possible, because isn't also Embracer having like fucking terrible financial forecasts recently or something? I
well, I
remember like
feel
reading
like they
their
always do. Embracer's
yeah,
like always spending way more money than they have, and
yeah,
nobody really knows what their end goal is. So it's like their end goal could honestly be to just sell these companies back at a premium. That could be
yeah.
their end goal. Who knows? But yeah, I want to talk about that real quick. Does anyone have anything to say about that? Them
Nah.
helping with Fable?
Oh, I personally don't know that much about. I just read a little bit. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, and I kind of just went on about my day, so I don't really like have
Yeah,
much to say because I'm not
that's totally fine. What about you,
as
Am?
in tune.
Good luck. That's all
Okay.
I gotta really say
Uh,
about it. It's just like, I mean, I hear Xbox is having, this team help them work on this and that team help them work on that. And it's just like, good luck. I hope you guys got a plan, because
I'd hope so.
I just don't know. I really don't know what to think.
Hey, I'm excited, and just like Crystal Dynamics, when they announced that Crystal Dynamics was helping the initiative work on Perfect Dark, I got way more excited for Perfect Dark just because Crystal Dynamics makes games. I mean, outside of
They
the
do make
Avengers,
games.
they make games that I actually care about and like highly regard. So
Wait a
I'm hyped
minute.
for that.
Wait a minute. That makes sense. What's your name again?
What?
Alex Games.
Oh my
Never
god.
mind. Never mind. Go.
Okay.
Fucking nerd.
All right. Mike's not okay.
No, I'm never okay.
Okay.
Go on.
But yeah, in this case, finding out Eidos Montreal is helping with Fable makes me, I don't know, more hyped for Fable, but more interested. And I was already interested. It's just I want to see what Eidos Montreal does to help on an RPG. I also want to see what Playground Games does with an RPG. So I'm more interested.
Microtransactions.
Oh God, could you imagine? Let's go. Um, and then we got to talk about, God of War Ragnarok
Hmm.
releasing this week.
Never heard of it.
Sounds like it's by all accounts, it seems to be like it's going to be a fucking banger of a game. So I can't wait to play that. It's what is it sitting at on Metacritic right now? Like a 94, 95?
Probably like 102.
Yeah, something like that, Pam. Probably something like that. Probably not, but yeah, probably something like that. But yeah,
Close.
I'm
I'm
hyped for this
close.
game. No, I don't think you are, but we're gonna
I'm
find out
less than
though.
10 points off. I know that.
Well, yeah, you're less than 10 points off. You're about 8 points off. But yes, it's at a
He's closer
94.
to 10 than not. So he fucked up. Ham, you suck. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's a lot closer to 10 than not. Definitely. But yeah, I can't wait for that game. I know you can't wait for that game either, Ham. So that's going to be interesting. Do you have anything to say about the Metacritic reviews or the Metacritic score that
Paid and bought. I'm just kidding. No.
God of War Ragnarok has gotten?
I'm just kidding.
Oh man, so I'm really pretty I'm pretty excited to play this for the
Mhm.
fact that they got the same score that I got, because mostly whenever you get a sequel, it'll get like less than that. And
Yeah.
the crazy thing is like usually the sequel is a little bit better and it gets less, right? So
And-
if
No, go ahead.
so
Go ahead.
or as of lately, some of the sequels of games have been better. I should say that. Because there's
Sure,
been
yeah.
many sequels to games where they were not better at all. But in this case, yeah, it was really nice to see that it hit a high score. It actually stuck around the same score than its predecessor, and in my eyes, I just think that means that it's a lot better than the last one.
That's
But
that's what I was gonna say.
exactly, right? So
Yep.
I'm thinking it's going to be a lot better than the
Yep.
last one. Story wise, I'm still a little on the edge of my seat, and when I say on the edge of my seat, I mean nervous about how the like fighting mechanics are going to be. If it's going to be a lot better, or if it's going to be just kind of more of the same.
I think it's going to be, based on what we've seen, it's going to be kind of the same. But the fact that they've added things like a grapple hook, there's different weapons in there now besides, just your Leviathan axe and your fists. I don't know all the weapons in there, but there's a pretty good selection of different weapons in there. I feel like in some instances it'll be more of the same, but I feel like they've added enough to make it feel like a proper sequel. Like a sequel should be what you expect from the first game, but done better and more things added to it. And that's exactly what this seems to be. So I'm hyped for that.
Yeah,
Um,
they have a lot of interesting things to kind of take from this upcoming story. So, I mean, obviously, Thor is like your antagonist in the
yeah,
game, and Atreus is back, and from what I've been hearing is you don't want to sleep on Atreus this time around. His like leveling him up and whatnot is actually going to be extremely helpful in comparison to the last game, from what I've been hearing. I'm also hearing that, and this is wild. Take this how you will, but I heard the side missions in this game are god
then
tier than The Witcher 3,
Witcher 3.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
So
see.
those are some pretty serious stats to throw out there
Yes.
and say, yo, this is better than a game that's already done proved itself.
What's
and
weird to
whatnot,
me is
but,
this game fully open world or is it linear
I
still?
believe it's open
It's
world in
gonna
the
be
same
linear.
sense that 2018 was open
Oh,
world,
okay.
where it's like you can
So-
explore and stuff, but it's not super huge.
Okay.
So
Imagine it has
it's
I think
like
I
an
imagine it
open
has like a
space
fourth.
linear, like
Less than a
directional.
I imagine then that means it has like a fourth of what I've never played The Witcher, so I have no idea how many side quests that game has.
The Witcher 3 has some damn good side quests, I'll say that. So if it's better than The Witcher 3, then that's something. That is special.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Like, I'm really hyped to play it. I think that if it's getting the same Metacritic score as the last one, and let's keep in mind, 94 is not like no accident. Like, you don't just like I made this last game that was a 94. This game will be the same. No, that's not how it works on there. Like like you actually got to bust your butt and whatnot to do that. So I'm really excited to see what they got
Yeah.
in store for me this time around for that game. That's pretty much all. I don't want to beat the dead horse on that one.
That's totally fine because I think we can move on now. Let me double check this. There's a few things here. Yeah, well, we can move on to the takes of the week. And you guys already heard my take. We kind of discussed it already, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Do you have anything that you found particularly interesting this week as far as takes?
I just, it's not necessarily takes. It's more of like shit I just seen around. People freaking out about the IGN Korea review of Ragnarok to a
Oh my
person.
God. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I saw that. I saw
yeah. Like people went a little too ape shit, just a tad bit too ape shit,
It's
getting
people are
incredibly,
insane.
literally, like
Yeah,
what?
people are just being again, people are way too comfortable online.
Yeah,
It's a problem. But yeah, I saw that. It's not good.
yeah. It wasn't a very good thing at all. Which is so unfortunate because you think Corey would be okay with Corey Ball. Corey would be
Corey balls.
with Corey Ball would be okay with something like that. No, so it's like
Yeah,
they
definitely
don't
not.
speak for everyone. I know, but it's just like you said, people are way too comfortable online.
Yeah.
Just like reminds me of a certain person too comfortable defending a certain platform online every time I tweet something. But I think Matt will get that. But
Yeah, I get that. I get
yeah.
that. I get it.
But what was I gonna fucking say? Yeah, that shit ain't cool. People need to fucking relax. Like immediately. Seek medication. I don't know,
Yeah.
something.
Therapy, medication, whatever. Just go outside, touch grass, whatever you got to do.
Whatever you
Whatever.
gotta fucking do, just stop.
Yeah, just do it and stop sending that to people who are working hard on game reviews. Because
Yeah.
I mean, just a quick thing. I remember listening to I forget the name of the guy, and I feel like an asshole for it. But the episode that
Wow,
you
Matt.
did with Ham did with what's his name? The dude who does reviews.
Oh.
I'm sorry for what?
The episode you did with the dude who does reviews. I swear I can't remember his name right now, and I feel like an asshole.
The guy, the episode that dude does review.
You did with a
Which
guy
person?
who was explaining his review process for games. I forget the dude's name.
Oh, you're talking about Macca Guides, Patrick
Yes,
Macca.
listening to him talk about the review process for just what he does for reviewing games is insane. And to think that like most reviewers are probably doing something along the same lines, the amount of time and effort that goes into that, like, and to just be like belittled and have racist slurs thrown at you because someone didn't like your review is just insane. It's not normal. It's not cool. But yeah, I saw that tweet, Mike, the one you're talking
Yeah.
about, and yeah, it's not. Don't like
Not
that.
a really good thing at all.
No, it's not. But what about you, Ham? You got any takes, hot takes, cold takes?
Gold
So
cup.
I had a kind of a cold take
Okay.
that I got here. Let me go on ahead and pull that up real quick. And it's from somebody that we've talked about several times on here, Nicola.
Oh, hell yeah, let's go.
And this
Good
is
guy.
actually
I'm gonna be
a
honest with
take.
you. I thought you said Capicola, and I was about to like talk about fucking the deli. I'm not gonna lie. All right, go on. Capicola.
So I mean, we've talked, we've poked fun at
Sure.
Nicola and Nick Marcelli on here several different times.
Yeah.
This time I'm gonna give him some props.
Oh god.
There we go.
This
I'd
time
say
I'm
this is
actually
rare.
gonna give him some props. He put maliciously, I'm sure he didn't mean to put this in a way that I agree, I'm sure, but I ended up kind of agreeing with him because he said, when is Xbox going to do something like share play? I do it all the time on my PS5 with friends, and when it happens, when we happen to play on Xbox, we can't. And it saddens me. Whatever. But But
I agree with that, though.
I actually agree with him right here, where
I
it's just like
100% agree with him.
me and Matt have actually talked about this before, where it's like, man, like we've had a snap feature on Xbox before. Why can't we do something similar, like watching our buddies play on it, or being able to hop into somebody else's game off of our own consoles or whatnot, like you can do on PlayStation or on PC.
Yeah,
And
because like I was like noticing on Steam. Can I just say real quick, Ham, if it's all right? And I'm
Go
sure
ahead.
it's like this on PlayStation. But it's like, I'll start up a game and it'll give me a notification like, hey, you could stream this game to a buddy and you can play co-op. Like if
on
you're
like
right next to them.
Discord and stuff. Yeah.
Well, on Discord and on Steam, I'll go boot up
Oh.
like EDF5. It'll be like you can stream this to a bud and they can be your player too. Like, and like you can both play the same game. Like,
It's a cool
like
feature.
so like I want actually kind of want to try that with you one day, Matt, because there's a few games I have that, and I want to at least try that out. Or you do,
Yeah.
Ham, that'd be kind of cool. All right, I just wanted to say that because that is a cool feature.
It is. Definitely.
right, so for all of the poking fun that we've done with them and whatnot, I figured I'd give it up to him just one time, and maybe more in the future if he says some things that I can actually
Level-headed takes.
Yeah, level-headed take is what that was.
Yes.
I mean, I see people complaining back to him like, then you use quick resume and smart delivery as well and whatnot, and it's like, all right, like,
sure,
you got to give it to him every once in the blue moon.
Yeah,
he actually did something right.
Exactly. I agree with Nick on that take. I also agree with the people in the reply. Like, it would be cool to see Xbox have a feature like that, because that's just an awesome feature. That's one of probably my favorite things about the PlayStation, honestly. And it would also be cool to have some form, whatever they can do, of quick resume on PlayStation, because it's a fast enough console that surely it can do it. It's got basically the same specs. I mean, the teraflops or whatever, but it's got basically the same specs. So it shouldn't have, in theory, maybe it's the OS, but it shouldn't have any, in theory, a problem with that. But who knows? It wouldn't be nice to see both of those companies have that thing. I would like that.
Absolutely, but that's my take, bud.
Well, that's a great take, honestly. And shout out to Nick Marcellus, huge fan of the show, and we love him. But yeah, okay. Let me get what comes up next is actually, I
Sonic
believe,
Frontiers. That's cool.
overrated, underrated. Is that? Yes, it's overrated, underrated. For some reason, I almost thought of Game Smush, and we haven't done that in forever. But yes,
But
overrated, underrated.
before we go to that, Sonic
Yeah.
in the chat did say, I think Sonic Frontier and Ragnarok are going to be, wait a second. I think Sonic Frontiers and Ragnarok are going to be hungry for gamers' attention this month for sure. Yeah, people are going to be dying to play those games. I'm really excited to play Sonic Frontiers. I know Matt and Mike aren't.
Oh, dude, I have it
dying to
pre-ordered
play
on
it.
every console and platform I own. Dude,
Yeah.
I own.
There you go.
I got it preloaded on every computer I have. I can't wait.
I'm
gonna play it on
very
Nintendo
excited
Switch
to
too.
play that
Yeah.
game. Sonic
12
Frontier
FPS.
to me looks phenomenal, and I want to get into it, and I'm hoping it's a really good game.
Me too.
Let's go. Let's see what it's all about. I'm
Sonic
here
fans
for
really
it. I
deserve
think
it,
I
too.
might
They need
cash
it.
in my Xbox reward points for that game.
Cash in your
There you
Xbox.
go. And to be clear, it's not that I don't think that game's not going to be good. It looks, as far as Sonic games go, I didn't grow up with Sonic. I don't have the nostalgia a lot of people have for it. But as far as Sonic games go, that looks like the most interesting one to me. Still probably not day one for me, but I could see myself picking it up at some point, maybe on sale or something. It looks interesting. I hope it's good for the people who, really want it to be good.
Yeah,
Unless that person has built a
really
game.
hoping it's good. I mean,
Yeah.
for goodness sakes, this is open world Sonic. Like, this is supposed to be what gamers like
And the Sonic
Like,
fandom needs this, dude.
pretty
Their
much
games have been.
drool over, right? This is,
Yeah.
I mean, this is what gamers back in
Ooh.
the 90s were begging for. To be real.
I feel like
Yeah.
there's a chance that Sonic Frontiers could be. I feel like that game is either going to be really good or it's not going to be good, and I'm leaning very much towards really good. I feel like that could be kind of like how Zelda had its Breath of the Wild moment. I feel like that could be that, but for Sonic.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that's the case because if that game's good, then that is like Mike was saying, that's fantastic for Sonic fans because they have not been dealt the best hand in the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
So
Really?
you
Yeah.
know, they need it. They really need it, and I'm hoping
Well,
they
see
get it.
what Sonic needs is
Battle Royale.
a template refresh. They need a template refresh that they can come back to, use, and expand on. The issue
Man,
with
they
Sonic,
did. They just never Sorry, go on. Sorry, I'm
the
sorry.
issue with Sonic to me is that they never really, like, ever since the early Sonic games, they never really stayed on course with the way that they're making their games. They always, oh, we're going to try this out. And then that doesn't really pan out the way. And then they come back and, continue on with the Sonic Adventure type style. And then they leave again and try to go back to the 2D thing. And it's just like, Sonic really needs consistency, in my opinion. And,
Yep.
and one thing that's missing from this game that makes me a little nervous that somebody brought to my attention was that there is no like momentum really in this game. So, and
Is
I
that
think
what do
the
you
open
exactly
world,
mean by that? Sorry.
so like in the previous Sonics, when you're running like sideways through the level in 2D, you can get momentum going to where you're not like stopping at all. You're just like moving fast, boom, 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 going. Same with like Sonic Adventure. Like you get a lot of momentum going. You could pretty much start the level, and that's your slowest point at the in that whole level is right at the very beginning. To where this game seems like a lot of run, then stop, attack, then run, then attack, then run, then attack. Like a lot of stopping of momentum. But that kind of comes with having like boss battles and stuff like that. You can't really have something where you're constantly hitting something and then it's not like really hitting you back or something like that. So I'm just interested in Sonic kind of stepping out and actually having a consistent format going forward and hoping that they can build from that.
I never really thought about it like that, but they do fucking bounce around from format to format like fucking nuts. Like especially during the 360 PS, Wii generation. Dude, there's like so many different kinds of Sonic games. It was kind of like pretty crazy, really.
Yeah, the Sonic's been all over the place in terms of just its game format and gameplay. And like I said, I feel like this has a chance to be, the thing for him, and hopefully that's the case.
Yeah, and then Sonic in the chat says Adventure Dash Unleash work. They seem to be on the right track with what I've played. And yeah, I mean, I agree. I think this open world thing can and should work. And I like what Matt had to say about it, where he thinks this is either going to be great or a dud, and he leans more towards great. And that's where I'm at.
I wanted to say, we didn't really talk about it in the news, but I know it's a game we're all pretty excited for. Diablo 4 is reportedly going to release in April 2023.
Let's fucking go!
Pre-orders open in December, apparently, if this report is true.
Dude,
so I'm hyped for that. I am
let's
actually very hyped for that.
Go.
That game's gonna be fantastic.
I can't fucking wait. Day one.
100% day one.
Ooh, hopefully... I have another take, actually.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, I do.
So this last take, we actually talked about this on K Mega show GRG, and I thought it was really interesting, and I wanted to point out here that what's his name, Paris, on Twitter said that like had some comments about next year for Xbox, and him saying that like with some of the lineup that they have, he doesn't think that it's enough for 2023 for Xbox. And I kind of wanted to get your guys' take on that.
But that's like 4 games.
Yeah, K Mega put down Paris's comments about the Xbox 2023 game exclusive lineup isn't enough and views it as a disappointment if only Forza, Starfield, Hellblade 2, and Redfall are the only games dropping next year.
Okay. Is Paris? I know who Paris is, but is he the one who said? I saw this on Twitter as well. Did he say something along the lines of it? It doesn't. It's not enough because it's stuff that was supposed to be out already.
He said
remember.
something along that line of where it was like because these are games that were supposed to be in 2022, and I know what you're talking about, Matt, because I kind of felt like like Xbox, just because Xbox fumbled in 2022 doesn't mean you're gonna get 2 years worth of games.
Yeah, that'd be dumb to do as well.
I mean, exactly. I mean, that's that's a mistake that's been done already. The Dreamcast
by Xbox especially.
Yeah. Xbox has done that before and trampled themselves, but nobody did it worse than the Dreamcast, in my opinion, because the Dreamcast put out a ton of games on launch, and then it seemed like they had nothing really to give out after that, and then they like just slowly just fell off. So I really think that I really think that Xbox isn't looking at like, oh, we deserve, or I know Xbox thinks, the fans deserve, better. They should have, a lot of games, which we will have a lot of games. We'll have those 4 games, and then I'm sure there's probably a game that's not announced that'll probably be not announced that'll be probably coming out, and then you have a ton of third-party exclusive or third-party deals, that are going on, and then you have Game Pass as well that's going to be holding those deals to a high regard. And I'm talking about games like Wolong, Liza P. What's that other one?
Stalker, you got
Stalker
Atomic
2,
Heart.
Atomic Heart. Thank you. I mean, there's going to be a ton of different games dropping, third party, first party, and whatnot. I think it's probably in Xbox's best interest. Whether you feel like it's enough or not is kind of non-negotiable. It's more or less like, do they have? Because if they only put out 4 games and then 2024 they put out nothing, then I get it. Then I'm that's not enough. But if you but if you're just getting this train moving and you put 4 games out that year and you have an onslaught of other games that are going to be coming out within the next 2 years as well, or 3 or 4 or whatever years, then what you're doing is setting yourself up to look good, not to look like you're screwing up. Because if they came out and gave you 8 games this year and then gave you nothing the next 2 years, what do you think people would say?
I also feel like, and this isn't just Paris, because a lot of people do this. First of all, I feel like, the whole idea of, well, these games were supposed to be out in 2022. That's just the way. I mean, outside of Nintendo, because Nintendo seemingly outside. Well, did Zelda get delayed to 2023? I
Yeah.
can't remember if it was announced for.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
I don't think it was ever like completely announced. I thought
No,
it was
yeah,
just like announced to come out around holiday of this year, and
yeah.
then it got pushed back. I don't think it was ever like officially like
There we
announced, like,
go.
"Hey,
Yeah,
we're coming out."
but it's like outside of Nintendo, that's just a problem this generation. Xbox and PlayStation have had like COVID, especially on like huge games with as much detail as PlayStation, like a PlayStation game or an Xbox game like Starfield or something. All that detail's been being put into that game, and it's all being done for the most part from home, which is just fucking insane.
Can I just
So
say? Oh, sorry. Go on. Go on.
well, and I was gonna just say, like, to answer, I guess, the question is, yeah, it's enough, and I don't feel like people understand how important. Like, if Starfield hits, I don't feel like people understand how big that's going to be. Like, if
Yeah,
Starfield
that
hits, that's
Starfield's
going to
just
be
not
like
just another game.
it's
That's
not just exactly. It's not another game. That's like if it hits the way Bethesda wants that to hit, that's the next Skyrim.
yeah,
That's the next Sky. And Skyrim people are still that's enough for people today.
yeah,
There's people who once Skyrim came out, it's like that's it. That's like all they need now.
yeah,
And so it's like that is like I feel like they could release obviously that's not gonna happen. I feel like you could release Redfall, Starfield, and Forza. Let's just say those three. And that's enough. Obviously you want more than that. And anybody does. Um, but it's also the fact of the matter that they have so many studios, like a stupid amount of studios, that like even if this Activision Blizzard deal doesn't go through, they got so many studios that it's like you're inevitably going to be getting an avalanche of games. Probably not in 2023. You're going to get games in 2023. It's going to be a much better year than 2022. But that avalanche of games is kind of inevitably coming. Whether that's 2024, whether that's 2025, it's it's happening because the studios are working on games. They're going to put them out. Now, whether they're going to be, critically acclaimed games, like insanely highly rated, who knows? We'll see. But the games are factually coming. So it's not a matter of, you know, whether or not it's enough because they're going to be there. I feel like 2023 is going to be a really good year. Like you said, third party as well, where it's just like, for me, that's enough. I'm more than happy with, Starfield, Redfall, Forza, um, crap. What else was announced for 2023? I feel like there's something
Hellblade.
else. Hellblade's
Oh,
that's another thing. Hellblade's also like speculated for
yeah, it's
2023, but
speculated. It's not like actually announced at all.
exactly. But if we're doing that, then there's a lot of things speculated for 2023. Avowed,
Avowed.
Hellblade. You also got what is In Exile working on? How far along are they with that? It's like there's a lot of stuff. So it's like, I mean, I say sit back and see. If you get to the end of 2023 and you're not satisfied, then I mean, hey, what can you do? Like, if you're not satisfied, you're not satisfied. But it's like, I find it very hard that I'm going to feel that way at the end of 2023.
And also keep in mind, like, these games that are dropping, like, these aren't like 5-minute games.
Yes,
They're
huge
not like
transcendent
quit,
games.
like, I'm gonna eat this real quick and be done with it and erase it. Like Starfield, you're gonna be able to at least get 40 hours out of that joint. And that's if you're like running through it.
And that's on one playthrough. And Bethesda games are meant to be played like multiple playthroughs. So you're going to get tons of content out of that, plus modded content, plus fan made content. It's going to be nuts.
what for
I mean,
Starfield?
Yeah,
Dude, I could see Starfield being the only game I need for like if it
that's
hits.
that's how I feel. That's how I
Like
feel.
like it,
yeah, that
I'm that's can I just say real quick too, like Ham said, Microsoft already at the moment seems to have an issue with advertising in general. Like, you know what I'm saying with their
Yeah,
games? Like, I think on like the
yeah, they
Xbox
do.
Twitter, we've seen them tweet Pentiment once. Like
Yep.
especially that game. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, blah blah blah.
Sure.
But
yeah.
the fact that it's like a first party game and they've only tweeted about it once, at least the last
Yep.
time I checked. It's like
And
imagine now that with like 8 games coming out, they're not Netflix yet. You know what I'm saying? They can't just shit things out. I mean, even now Netflix is starting to feel it because they just kind of shit things out without telling anyone.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel like to that exact point, they did the same thing with Redfall's latest trailer, and Clobril
Yeah.
tweeted
Oh,
about it
yeah.
pretty in depth, where it was like, Arcane posted, well, not Arcane, Bethesda's Twitter
Yeah.
account posted the new trailer for Redfall, the best easily. If I watched that trailer, that's the best trailer they've done yet.
Yeah.
And Xbox had no mention of it.
They
mention of
retweeted it
on their
what,
Twitter.
4 hours later or something?
It wasn't until after Clobril's tweet about the marketing at Xbox where I finally started seeing a promoted Xbox tweet about, Redfall. I was like, with like 100 likes. I'm like, how? How are you guys allowing that to happen? That's like one of the best trailers I've seen so far, and you guys don't even acknowledge it. It's like,
it's annoying. I know what like Jazz in reply. It's like, yeah, they're like Activision, Xbox and Bethesda's marketing are different, but at the same time though, it's
Very
like
different.
Microsoft but it's like at the same time they put out a tweet. I'm pretty sure someone on your social media page must see it to at least make some type of a tweet about it, right? Like someone had to have known that bitch was coming out. Like someone had to.
You would think so. Or at the very least, hey, you didn't know it was coming out. So you saw it, retweet, quote tweet it, tweet it, or do something. I don't know, but like just acknowledge the thing exists. It's like your second biggest game next year. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I felt like they did the same thing with Grounded as well, where it was like, dude, that thing is like rolling out right now, and you guys have mentioned it like less than a handful of times, and it's just like, dude, you guys should be like trying to get that shit on billboards and whatnot. Yes. Like, what are you doing?
especially Grounded, because they have a show. They're getting a show on Netflix for Grounded. Put that everywhere. I should see ads for that on the internet.
That's what pisses me off most about Microsoft. They treat almost all of their games like they're like these like weird, unless it's Halo or Gears, like these like tiny, insignificant. I'm not all of them. That's a very gross over.
No, you're kind of right.
But like, like even maybe, it's like everything's like I'm like everything just kind of feels like a side afterthought. You know what I'm saying? And it's like stop. Like I understand, like you want these giant games that go toe to toe with like PlayStation. I get it. I understand it. However, you cannot be all of a sudden pushing these other incredible games under the fucking rug, or just expect. I don't know. I'm not saying they're necessarily pushing them under the rug, but get off your ass and advertise the fucking game. You have all these people busting their ass to make a game for you, for your service, for your customers. Get your shit in gear and advertise it.
I mean, absolutely, Mike, because you're not. Because what Microsoft likes to do is they like to push their services. They like to, you can get Game Pass.
They're great at that.
You can get a Series X. You can get a Series S. You can get all these products. But it's almost like they forget that it's not the products that make this like stuff like so groundbreaking. It's the things that run on the products that make them what they are. So like if you're sitting here saying you should get Game Pass, you should get Game Pass, you should get Game Pass, you should try Halo, get Game Pass, you should try Psychonauts, get Game Pass. No, what you should be doing is saying, look at all this crazy shit you can do in Psychonauts. This is insane.
I mean, Bill,
all this crazy stuff you can do in Halo. Look at this MLG showcase, and then like check out this like awesome just fun stuff you can do with the like friends and family online and stuff like that with Halo. Oh, and by the way, you can get it on Game Pass. Like Game Pass should be the by the way part. Game Pass shouldn't be the leading piece of your advertisement. The Game Pass is just like more or less like, yo, this is where you can get it. This is the destination of the place, but the hype behind the destination is this right here. This is what you need to see.
And I feel like that marketing strategy, granted, again, I'm not on their marketing team. I'm sure they know a lot more than I do. They got a lot more information than I do. I just feel like that would ease people that would give Game Pass a look of like, hey, look at this awesome thing, as opposed to, hey, we're shoving this down your throat. As opposed to like, hey, like, because people like to say Game Pass, and I disagree with it, but Game Pass is ruining gaming. I feel like it has the exact opposite effect. But when it's advertised like that, where it's just like Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, like right in your face all the time, it's like, dude, ease off of that. Just tell me what's in there. And then at the end of it, say, hey, this is in Game Pass as well. That makes it a lot more palatable than just shoving Game Pass in my face all the time. Like, just tell me what's coming out, and then I'll be like, oh, that's on Game Pass as well. That's fantastic. I'll just sign up for that. And to what Mike was saying earlier about the devs, it's like there's a lot of devs, like a lot of really super talented devs. And that's not to say any dev is more talented than the other, but you've got a lot of big name devs under Microsoft right now. One of them is working on Pentiment. Um, and to not be pushing his thing, I don't know. If I was Josh Sawyer and I saw Microsoft not pushing the thing that I'm doing, then I would feel some type of way.
I'd be
I'm
frustrated.
I led a team that made Fallout New Vegas. I led a team that made objectively one of the greatest RPGs ever made. And you're not pushing the thing that I just now made. I would feel some type of way about that. So it's like you got a lot of big names and a lot of super talented studios under your banner. You need to push the things they're making. Like whether it's convenient or inconvenient for you, that does not matter. You need to make time. You need to push what they're doing because it's important. So I agree. Their marketing needs to step it up. And it's so weird because the 360 marketing was so damn good. It was
It's
just so damn good.
Even
The
the
thing
OG
is, what
Xbox marketing was phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah,
As,
dude.
as crazy and edgy as it was there. It was
Yep.
live and live in color, you know?
It
I
definitely
think it's
was.
just like they're so focused on Game Pass, and I get it. They need to grow, but it's like at the same. I don't know. It's like they need to just fucking step it up. Everyone knows game. I don't know. Step up. Show your fucking first party games. They're there.
Exactly.
Show them. We get it. Like I don't know. That's it.
Like I said, the thing that grows Game Pass ultimately is the games. You can't just keep telling me about Game Pass and not showing me the things
Yeah.
that are inside of it. You got to tell me what's there and then say, hey, it's in the service.
Does it eat? Does it take poops? Does it need a hug?
Yeah.
Like we don't need to know that you have 400 or however many games that you have, and I'm like, show people what they could possibly like be eating in there. Like that number, I mean technically Google Play could say something insane. We have thousands of games that you can play on
Yeah.
Google Play.
And no one cares.
Fodder.
What is but the thing is like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I have thousands of pieces of paper. All right,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you doing with it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like, I think that Xbox just needs to come out and start showing more, like even if it's games that they already have. You need to have these in the commercial as gameplay trailers and then put enjoy this in Game Pass at the end of it. Instead of marketing Game Pass for 30 whole seconds and saying you can play this, and this. Like show 20 seconds of a fight and then say, get this in Game Pass. And then be done. And then move on.
And you know,
like
what's
show
funny
off the
is
games.
I think I don't have factual proof of this, but I'm almost certain just by scrolling through Twitter the last month or so, I've seen more promotion for Plague Tale Requiem by Xbox than I have for Pentiment, for Grounded, for for anything. It's like that. I get like that's in your service as well. You want to push it, but push your stuff also. That's very important. Because
When does Pentiment even come out? I don't even know when the fuck that
15th.
shit comes out.
Comes out like
15th.
the 18th. Oh, 15th.
Dude, like I've literally never. Okay.
There you go. I couldn't even tell you when it comes out. Ham had to say it. But yeah, definitely definitely not good marketing happening over at Xbox, and hopefully they get that figured out. But we are on to overrated, underrated, and I'm gonna go ahead and get mine out of the way so you guys can go. Um, I want to say underrated, the Wolfenstein series, the new Wolfenstein series. Everybody knows about the old Wolfenstein series, and also I feel like Machine Games is underrated in general. But the new Wolfensteins, fantastic games. I'm gonna keep it short. Fantastic games. Gameplay is just fucking just top tier gameplay, and it's just insane violence all the time, and I love it. But what about you guys?
Typical bot. What about
Overrated, underrated.
Oh, underrated. I really love that RoboQuest game. It is in early access, so I understand why people aren't talking about it. However, the sheer because I exist in the first person shooter fucking area. I've never heard of this fucking game. Like I mean that's Wolfenstein's first person. I mean like the indie first person shooter scene. I'm a big fan of that scene. And I never really heard of this game. I saw a trailer for it when it was coming to Game Pass a very long time ago, and I was like, oh yeah, I should try it out. And it's fucking fantastic. It's so movement based. It is so fluid. It's so important to stay moving and jumping it in the air and comboing your weapons and figuring out the best equipment to use and what you should upgrade and how you should play. It's so much fun. I really think that game's underrated.
Yeah, okay. I still need to actually download that. You
So
told me
do
about that, and I completely forgot. But
because you hate me.
that
Just
is true.
I'm crying.
But also Ham Solo, overrated, underrated.
Oh, so I'm gonna go underrated this time. I'm gonna keep it pretty simple and brief. Road
Mhm.
Rash.
Good choice.
Road Rash is underrated in my opinion. I put out a tweet earlier this week.
The original
Caught a
Road
little-
Rash, or are we talking the series?
I'm talking about the whole series, really. But I
Okay.
mean, obviously, there is certain ones in there that are much bigger and much better. But I mean, as a series, a lot of people have memories of some sort. I'm a nobody on Twitter. And I just posted, you know what this is, and the post says old school gamers will remember this, and it just shows gameplay from Road Rash. And I didn't say anything about what the game was or whatnot, and about 600 people came through and hit the like button and was like, and a ton of people commented, this is Road Rash, this is Road Rash, this is Road Rash, bring back Road Rash. And I'm just like, absolutely, I'm all the way there with them. Like, Road Rash is a phenomenal game, great game back in the day that I feel like could come back and have a crazy amount of fame and whatnot now. But what
Yeah.
I would like to also see that's a little bit off of the sub. It has some to do with Road Rash just because there's motorcycles, but something that I'd like to see that I doubt we'll ever get that I think would be cool is like what I want to see somebody like Rockstar do what they did with the Warriors, but do it with Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, I never even fully watched Sons of Anarchy, but that would be good. From what I've seen of it, that would be very good.
Oh my goodness. A motorcycle gang going in and out of jail, and then you know, people dying left and right, you having to shoot, do all these things that you don't really, I mean, it's already set up perfectly like a video game. You're doing stuff that you don't really want to do to survive, to make your family good. And then at the end of the day, you got to make a decision on whether you keep doing the wrong thing or do the right thing. It's very set up for a video game to me already. So I think that would be dope. It'd be really sad seeing certain people die all over again in that video game, but I think that would be phenomenal to see that TV show be made into a video game. But yeah, Road Rash is
Definitely
my underrated game of all time.
Sounds good. Sounds very good. And I think we're just pretty much on to outros after this. So I mean, where can we find you guys? Where can we find you, Ham?
All right, so me, Ham Solo 05 Gaming is where you can find me on Twitter, and then on YouTube it's TSWS Gaming. Me, Loke, and Cozy Beluga do a show every Friday called Bullsitting, but I do 2 shows a week called Behind Them Sticks with random people all over the world of gaming. I've had every single person that's on this podcast on Behind Them Sticks, and I'm going to have many more people coming soon being on that show. So, yeah, very good episode. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. What about you, Hard Days Mike?
You can find me on Twitter at Hard Days Mike. I sometimes stream on Twitch at Hard Days Mike, and that's really it. I'm nowhere else. Don't find me. I'm just kidding. No, that's all I am.
Also on Patreon and OnlyFans and fans.
Yes, OnlyFans. Yes,
all those other places.
Especially OnlyFans. I'm just kidding.
Yes, he's.
I should really claim that account name. That's fucking perfect. Hard Days Mike.
You honestly,
I kind of should.
You kind of should. I think that would be fantastic. But as for myself, you can follow me over on Twitter at Matt Likes Games, and you can check me out on YouTube, Matt Likes Games, videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I've kind of slowed down on the shorts. I am getting back into it. So content every day over there, and then Patreon, Matt Likes Games, if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, that's about it for me. So I think that wraps up the show. Very good show. And I think we will definitely see you all back here next week, hopefully. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I think we can hop out of here. Ham, you want to take us out?
See y'all later. Take it easy.
See ya.
Bye, frauds.